So if we expect them to invest over $100 million for one well, we must ensure, we must provide them consistency of policy, we must provide them visibility, medium-term visibility, and enable them to retain their profitabilities if they strike a wet well and reinvest that to build the infrastructure. So that is the only thing that will enable us to sustainably make this sector grow. So upstream, the legacy challenges, I'll just briefly touch upon. Without increasing a single rupee in consumer prices. Amir Tofail Saab is here. He's heading one of the largest, the larger of the two utility companies that we have. He can speak about this in greater detail in his address. Without increasing a single rupee of consumer tariff, after losing all the profitable customers to the national grid, after numerous interventions brought in which eroded his revenue potential, we have still been able to maintain the flow of circular debt to near zero. The legacy cost, which was there before I came in, and this was in March last year, we are working with IMF and the E&P companies in how to repay that amount. My friend Zahir Saab is here. I acknowledge the payment that is due and what the government needs to liquidate those, and we are making efforts towards that, and I own that responsibility. You don't even have to come and remind me of that. I am well aware of where it was and where it is today. So that's a government obligation. We will continue to deliver on that. So, but hopefully that how do you operationalize that will get decided in the next couple of months when the next mission comes in. And you'll see us moving in that direction, because once you get that money, only then we can expect you to deploy that capital to explore further. So that's what we are doing in the upstream, other than the exploration on the onshore and the offshore basins. In the midstream, I am extremely grateful to Khattak Saab for leading the negotiations yesterday and for providing some relief in this extremely volatile environment in terms of reduced diesel prices. The refineries stepped up to that ask. I'm grateful for that. But what we need to really get the conversation going is, why are they in such dilapidated state, and why have they not been able to upgrade to deep conversion refineries? And that is where the new refinery policy comes in, and that is where the operational flexibility comes in. So why did we not do it in the last 70 years is a debate that we can have some other day, but that policy is in field. The Secretary is locking the agreements with all of them. We will have a signing ceremony, and we will make sure that at least the future generations are not challenged in the same manner as we are today in meeting this challenge, because these things will continue to happen. We live in interesting times. So that's what's happening in the oil chain, in the midstream. In the gas sector, I am grateful to World Bank. They are helping us unbundle and reform the gas sector. How do you split the infrastructure business from the energy business? How do you inject more competition into it? How do you encourage more liquidity for the upstream sector? How do you inject efficiency optimization into the system? And that report should be coming out by the end of this month. So once that is there, it will be presented to the Prime Minister, and we will slowly and gradually move in that direction. And already, I think a lot of competition has already been injected with the support of Fahim Saab. You have the third-party access regime. Power is bringing that regime today through the CTBC, and we've had that for years. So how do you build that platform, take it forward? That is another thing that we'll definitely bring in, because the North Star remains deregulating, letting the private sector bring in the expertise, the competence to run this efficiently. We've seen this in the telecom sector, and we see how Pakistan today and the consumers in Pakistan today enjoy the lowest call costs across the country. So that is the benefit of injecting competition into this. So we'll continue to push on that front, regardless of how much hatred I am able to gather or how much popularity I'm able to gather. But I think the true measure will be how the coming generations view what we did when we had the responsibility of doing something. And in the downstream, consolidation, improving digitization, and doing all sorts of things. So which will bring more transparency, whether it be the pricing reform, the confusion around the daily price announcement. That's not the end game. The end game is deregulating it. The prices even today are being settled on the basis of a 7-day moving average. If it must be a deficiency in my explaining this fact to the people, because my critics continue to say that it is daily price. It is a 7-day rolling price which is announced daily. So I hope people will be able to listen to this and better understand what we are trying to do, because the entire country cannot stop every Friday when prices are to be announced, and especially when, as the petroleum